Welcome back, Aces, to another X-Wing Battle Report. I'm Brian.
I'm Ethan.
And we're back with Game 2 of our store tournament at Johnny Cee Cards in Wausau, Wisconsin. And I'm flying against Ryan. I am flying Kanan Jarrus with fire control systems, extra munitions, plasma torpedoes, auto blaster turret with chopper, recon specialist, and guidance chips. I've also got Hera Syndulla with fire control systems, extra munitions, Flechette torpedoes, auto blaster turret, 9 num, Zebarelios, and guidance chips.
And Ryan is flying the Countess with the X7 title and 2 Onyx squadrons with the TIE D title and tractor beams.
And going into this fight, it was kind of terrifying going up against 3 defenders. I think in this particular matchup, Ryan would have been a little bit better off with the X7 title instead of the TIE D, just because against 2 ghosts, those tractor beams aren't really going to be doing anything at all.
Not just that, but it also would have freed up some points for the Countess to take an EPT, which I think is kind of critical if you're going to shell out the points for one of the named pilots.
Yeah, push the limit on Countess, I think, is by far the best upgrade she can get.
And as we're going to see, Ryan tends to favor those high-speed maneuvers with his defenders anyways, so the X7 title would have just naturally helped him out there.
Yeah. I do like the idea of having 2 TIE Ds with tractor beams, though.
It's a nice idea, but I think if you're going to do that, you really have to build around it. And I really think that you want the higher pilot skill guys if you're going to go that route.
Yeah.
I think the TIE X7 title is a great title for any defender, but it is particularly suited for the low pilot skill guys.
Yeah.
Since they're more likely to finish those kinds of high-speed maneuvers, get into the parking lot earlier before crashing occurs.
Yeah, and here I was really debating whether or not how aggressive I wanted to be with Hera, knowing that I was going to get Kanan's ability to reduce the damage that either one of them is going to be taking. He's probably going to be focus firing on Hera here and just reducing the number of dice. I think at 1 forward was the right move. Staying at range 2.
I think that's the thing I really like about this list, is there's kind of an on-off sort of aggressive-passive relationship going on between the 2 ships, but they can trade those roles. It's not like one ship is always aggressive and the other isn't. Hera, because of Zeb, can be very aggressive and can go bumping with people because she can change his maneuvers, and Kanan can stay back, or he can be really aggressive so that his ability procs more.
Yeah.
Here we just see the devastating firepower that 2 ghosts can bring to bear.
Stripping all of the shields on that first TIE defender.
Without any modifications. And then being able to reduce the return fire is just huge. I mean, turning a defender into an A-Wing is pretty powerful.
That's why I really like having Chopper, having the ability to do a red maneuver when you need to do those tight 1 turns.
And still get that action.
Still get your double focus in, or even just barreling forward with a 5K and still being able to focus.
This is a kind of painful bump. The thing about 3 defenders lists is they really have to all be working together and shooting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A bad bump can really hurt you.
We saw Hera firing her first Flechette torpedo and stressing that defender that attempted to do a 4K right there. So that defender still has a stress on him, and he's not in a very happy place right now.
It's interesting. I mean, you often forget that defenders have a wide array of maneuvers available to them just because so many of them are red. So that 1 turn, I think, was actually a really good call. Really opened up a lot of different sort of attack vectors. I just think Ryan didn't really capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm. And here we've got
fire control system.
Zeb with fire control, allowing me to just barrel into that defender.
And annihilate it.
It's the nice thing with being pilot skill 7, Hera's ability, and Zeb, being able to control when I bump. It's just been huge with this list build.
Well, it really gets opened up with the addition of 9 Numb. That really opens up her dial for the greens. The reds are pretty varied, but the greens less so until you add in that 9, which I think is a great addition. And I think here we can see kind of the temptation of Defender's pilots, which is to just start jousting and then just go back and forth, really no matter what. And I think that here, perhaps disengaging would have been a little bit better. Yeah, you lose a turn of shooting, but you can come back, you can re-equip, and you'd have actions at least. And bumping with the Countess was really unfortunate for her in this situation.
Yeah, you might still get the evade even if you bump doing a 3-speed maneuver, but I think a 3 bank still would have done the same thing and put her in a much better position. And being able to target lock or focus off of that would have been pretty significant.
It's the reason why you really want to save up points for the TIE engine mod. Also really opens up
her.
Yeah. If she were to be stressed with PTO. Because here we can see that even with that juke, the 5 dice with rerolls, you are really in a position to put the hurt onto any ship, not just Defenders, but yeah.
That first crit from Hera against the Countess was double damage. So unfortunately, Countess is already down to 1 hull. And we've got the plasma torpedoes from range 3 with guidance ships. More than enough to seal the deal.
I think it's often surprising how potentially fragile Defenders are. I mean, they seem so strong with all the with 3s down the board. They seem so durable, but any ship can be really hurt in a single turn. Defenders are no exception.
I think that's why I like the X7 title a little bit more than the TIE D. I mean, it's very tempting to get those extra cannons, get those extra cannon shots in, getting some control with either an ion cannon or a tractor beam, but the X7, essentially having an extra shield to turn with that evade token.
Again, especially true for the small pilot skill guys. Higher pilot skill has an opportunity to shoot before other people, and there the control can really play in. You can move people onto asteroids or out of arc, but the lower pilot skill guys don't have that option. So again, that extra defense really shows itself a little bit more on the lower pilot skill defenders. Now here is kind of, I think, the a little bit of the weakness of the Ghost. Although Kanan will be able to get into this fight fairly easily, Hera is, I think, in a couple turns away from being useful.
Yeah.
They are a little bit lumbering at times.
And Kanan being able to chop or to still get his focus tokens.
It really is nice.
Firing off that last plasma torpedo and taking care of those 2 remaining shields on that defender.
3, that defender hasn't had any damage like that, so all the shields are gone thanks to the plasma torpedo special roll.
Mm-hmm. I usually try to save the plasma torpedoes for shooting out of the rear arc, just for that opportunity shot. But
I think that
first crit was blinded pilot on Kanan.
I think your blinded pilot cards have all been magnetized.
Yeah, I think
towards him.
I'm pretty sure Matt probably messed with my damage deck, and all of my double damages are now blinded pilot. I'll have to count them later. And Hera barely nicking that debris cloud. Don't think she really cares too much about that stress right now, though.
Yeah, and opportunity for free damage here comes up and comes in with another crit.
It's a loose stabilizer, so when Kanan reveals or executes a white maneuver, receives a stress token.
And here I think we have another example of why the TIE engine mod is such a great modification. That 3-bank, which was really the only maneuver he had any hope of completing to get away and maybe have arc in the round, would have been green, would have cleared, he could have done something.
Well, I don't think a 1-bank and a bump would have been the worst decision there. So I think here he's just out of arc of Kanan. And Kanan's still going to be able to fire that auto blaster turret now.
Mm-hmm.
Kanan being able to chopper to flip down that loose stabilizer. And we've got 1 damage going in from that auto blaster.
Nice.
And it looks like he is just out of arc.
X-Wing is often a game of millimeters. And Hera comes in with that 3 maneuver. Did you think about turning it into a 4?
I thought it was a 4 that I revealed, but I'm not sure. He's got the last Flechette torpedo being fired at range 3 just to deny the evade dice. And that's all there is. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit that like button. We'll get some more videos out here for you. And don't forget to subscribe.